Hi, today we're going to discuss about physiological principles, especially cardiovascular system, circulatory system. So we want to study about the circulatory system, which is consisting of circulating fluid and system of vessels, in this case, blood vessels, and the pump system. And so we want to understand the general structure of the blood vessel first. And from more engineering point of view, we want to grasp the relationship among vessel radius and the fluid resistance and pressure drop, which is a driving force for blood flow. And the business end of our circulation is the capillaries, which is we want to study the function of the capillaries and the distribution of fluid throughout the tissue so that we can adequately provide oxygen and nutrients and collect waste and the transport of molecules. And for this, we want to study the pump system, which is the heart. So understanding anatomy of the heart, and the heart is an electrical organ, that electrical system which generates coordinated contractions of the heart muscle. And to get into more of this, the sequence of events of this cardiac muscle, which is cyclic, and that lead to pressure generation, which is driving the fluid throughout our body and within these heart chambers and the aorta. So let me start with showing you a movie of the blood vessel. So the circulatory system. So this movie is what I take with the microscope with a mouse brain. And that red one, let me show from top to bottom. These red ones are blood vessels. You see these are arterioles, diving, penetrating arteriole. And these little things, these are capillary vessels. You see how beautifully distanced with these capillaries. By the way, this scale bar is about 100 microns. So you can see how much of distance between these capillaries. And what does do this capillary is mixing, exposing cells, which is not visible here, throughout our body, in this case, brain, and oxygen and nutrients are diffused out of these capillaries. And that provides a pathway, also removal of waste products. And this movie is about 700 by 700 micron field of view, and the depth is about 650 micron. So not only this physiological, normal physiological aspect, blood vessel and circulation is so important in pathology as well. For example, in cancer, we've already talked that the cancer growth, which is a tumor forming, and the tumor cells ask for more blood vessels so that they can feed themselves. And that we call as a new vessel growth from existing vessel called angiogenesis. And recent science paper published about another aspect of to feed a tumor here called vasculogenic mimicry. Let me reiterate, there are big two ways of forming vessels. One is existing vessels and forming a new vessels, such as angiogenesis. Another way is thinking about the development. You have to create blood vessels from, not existing vessels. That we call vasculogenesis. Okay, so what people have found is in tumor, very interesting phenomena, that the tumor cells organize themselves into form something like vessel-like structures, these hollow channels inside. And then normal blood vessels hook up to channels within the tumor mass to feed the tumor. So this is named as a vasculogenic mimicry because it mimics vasculogenesis in normal physiology. And why distinguishing and finding this is important for us? Because when we are treating or killing the tumor mass, we could generate anti-angiogenic therapy, which you might develop a new antibody drug that grabs the molecules, which is growing a new vessel form. But then molecular mechanism might work different in in this vasculogenic mimicry, then the treatment has to be different. So in this regards, we have to understand various ways of looking at what's happening and the molecular mechanism and how to think of the treatment if it's a pathologic condition. While we will not know whether this vasculogenic mimicry is so general that it can stay longer of this hypothesis, but we will see in the future.